from the French-speaking part of Canada. In this episode, I'm going to take you on an adventure along the Great Trail here in Quebec. I'm going to do hiking, canoeing, paddling, climbing, biking, and horseback riding. Sounds like a good package, eh?
The Trans-Canada Trail, being promoted since 2016 as the Great Trail, is claimed to be the world's longest network of recreational trails. After 25 years of construction, starting in 1992, the Great Trail got officially inaugurated on August 26 in Ottawa. The trail stretches from the Atlantic all the way across Canada to the Pacific and the Arctic Oceans, spanning 24,000 kilometers and touching over 15,000 communities.
And I'm starting this trip close to the Canadian capital in the Gatineau Park in the region of Outaouais, with the Pink Lake being my first stop.
Gatineau Park is a 361 square kilometers wedge of land extending north and west from the city of Gatineau in the Outaouais region of Quebec.
That's a really relaxing hike to start with. It's just about an hour to hike around the Pink Lake, which actually has its name not from its color, because this lake is actually green and has really clear waters. Beautiful, beautiful little hike.
Gatineau Park is a recreational destination offering public facilities including beaches, campgrounds, picnic areas, parkways, and about 165 kilometers of hiking trails, as well as 90 kilometers of trails for mountain bikes.
After driving to the Champlain lookout, I'm also staying in the park Gatineau at the Taylor Lake, but it's more luxurious camping because I'm staying in this beautiful yurt. Because when I do camping, I do glamping. That's pretty luxurious here. So, after setting on the carbon monoxide alarm, because I started a fire over there and didn't open the air ventilation, it's now finally dinner time, and for dinner I have a panini and some nice salad over here. Ooh, I haven't shown you the best part because I got this little kit here that's marshmallows. This is chocolate and these are crackers. That should do the job. After a night of camping, how do you spend the morning on the Great Trail? You rent a canoe and you cross a lake. Let's go. That's the way to start the morning. And next thing is a little hike to the Lusk cave. So I'm a little bit further into the cave, and here you can see that this cave is actually a marble cave. Alright, time to head back. And I keep on paddling, but this time on a river in Wakefield and on a stand-up paddleboard. Here in the beautiful village of Wakefield, I'm not only staying in a family-run bed and breakfast, I'm also dining in a family-run restaurant. Just my style. Before I'm leaving Wakefield, I met up with one of the faces behind the Great Trail, Ken, who's actually responsible for building parts of it here in the Wakefield region. So what are the things you can do here on and off the Great Trail?
Well, on the trail itself you can hike, snowshoe, but in and around Wakefield you can mountain bike, some great mountain biking trails, and in winter that converts to fat biking. But then we have the Gatineau River that flows through Wakefield, where you can canoe, kayak, paddleboard, sail, and swim. Gorgeous, very clean river. And then after all of this exercise that you're doing all day long, there's some great restaurants in Wakefield to help you build up your energy for the next day of exercise.
After hiking, camping and paddling along the Great Trail, I came to Arbraska Lafleche to do some climbing and some ziplining with Simon. So let's do this. Yes.
The aerial parks of Arbraska Lafleche are made of suspended bridges, lianas, monkey bridges, swings, and of course, the most fun part of it, zip lines.
All right. That was good. The activities of the last few days were just kind of a warm-up program because I'm about to cycle about 150 kilometers over the course of the next 3 days along Le Petit Train du Nord, starting in Nominant. So this is where I am now at kilometer 145 and I'm going down all the way to Saint-Jérôme, kilometer 0. As the name states, the route I'm cycling today used to be a railway. Starting in 1909, Le Petit Train du Nord connected all the mountain villages north of Montreal and was a major key for the regional development. Such a nice landscape around here. After about 38 kilometers of cycling, I made it to La Belle, and what used to be the train station is now a restaurant. So a great spot to have some lunch. Yes! After 63 kilometers of cycling, I finally arrived in Mont-Tremblant in another family-run B&B. Day 2 of cycling. Today it's about 50 kilometers from Mont-Tremblant to Sanadel this way. Let's go! If you're wondering where my luggage is during the time I'm cycling, it gets transferred from one bed and breakfast to the other by the same guys I rented that bike from and who also brought me to the starting point of my trip, which is in a way cheating, but also very comfortable. Whew, it's now 10 kilometers uphill. And I can tell you, I really feel all the activities of the last few days. But on the other hand, I also need to make up for all the food I was eating. After about 40 kilometers of cycling, I arrived in Val David. Time to have some coffee. With all these beautiful lakes, it's really hard to get going. Man, you need to stop so often here. And just like that, I arrived in my bed and breakfast for tonight. 50 kilometers of cycling done today. Good morning, sun's out and I'm heading for the last stretch of Le Petit Train du Nord from Sanadel to Saint-Jérôme, which is about 32 kilometers. And I made it to kilometer 0, and with that finished Le Petit Train du Nord with 145 kilometers of cycling for me here in Saint-Jérôme.
After days of cycling, it was about time for some city life, so I made a short stop over in the beautiful town of Trois-Rivières, which is located approximately halfway between Montreal and Quebec City. Trois-Rivières is a great place to enjoy the famous Quebec nightlife, and a perfect base to explore the Mauricie region.
After a night out in Trois-Rivières, I now came to the Mauricie region to do the next activity on the Great Trail, which is horseback riding. So here we are, horseback riding on the Great Trail. Actually one of the more enjoyable activities. Oh, it's getting exciting because I'm taking a seaplane to see the Mauricie region from above. That's the right way to do it.
Taking a seaplane is the best way to see the scale of the Mauricie region, which is made of 40,000 square kilometers in boreal forest, including numerous lakes and rivers, making it the perfect destination for canoeing and outdoor lovers in general.
Another thing which is really typical for Quebec is sugar shack. So we came here to the Chateau to have some sweet lunch. The last stop on my trip along the Great Trail in Quebec is Quebec City. So let me use the last few hours before I hop on the plane to give you a little introduction to the city. That's the highest building in Quebec City, and they have an observatory on top of it. A great chance to check out the city from above.
Quebec City is the capital city of the Canadian province Quebec, with more than 500,000 inhabitants. The city's landmarks include the Chateau Frontenac, a hotel which dominates the skyline, La Citadelle, an intact fortress that forms the centerpiece of the ramparts surrounding the old city, and the beautiful historic neighborhood of Old Quebec, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site.
Of course, I can't leave Quebec without having Petit. And that's it from the Great Trail in Quebec. If you like this video, leave me a thumbs up, comment below, share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for new travel videos every Thursday. And check out my website for travel tips and recommendations of all the places I visited. See you next time. Au revoir.